Unit 5, Ethics, Norms and Values. Reading I. I'm sorry, it doesn't always translate. Key points from the text. 1. There is a misunderstanding between Americans and Japanese when it comes to apologies. 2. Examples of misunderstandings include Americans not being moved by apologies from the Toyota CEO after car malfunctions and Japan being upset when a U.S. submarine commander didn't immediately apologize for a collision with a Japanese fishing boat. 3. Different cultures have different rules and meanings for apologies, and this confusion goes beyond just the US and Japan. 4. Americans often see apologies as admitting guilt, while the Japanese view them as a way to show willingness to repair relationships without accepting blame. 5. In a survey, US students were more likely to think apologies meant accepting personal responsibility, while Japanese students apologized more frequently when they weren't personally responsible. 6. Apologies are important for building trust, and Japanese students were more willing to trust an applicant for a job who apologized for filing an incorrect tax return. 7. Americans tend to associate apologies with personal responsibility because they focus on individual actions, while in Japan and other East Asian countries, apologies acknowledge unfortunate events without assigning blame. 8. Executives need to understand these cultural differences to use apologies effectively in negotiations, resolving conflicts, and rebuilding trust. 9. The differences in understanding apologies are just one part of a broader disconnect between Eastern and Western cultures that is often overlooked in the rush for globalization. 10. Managers should pay attention to other cultural nuances that may be easily misunderstood to ensure effective communication. Exercises. A. Find the words/phrases from the text for the following meanings. The first letter has been given. A. Trip over to have difficulty saying something clearly or correctly. B. Effusive showing too much emotion. C. Bristled became annoyed or offended. D. Inured accustomed to do something. E. Culpability the fact of being responsible. F. Assertion a statement saying that you strongly believe something to be true. G. Attribute to say or believe that something is the result of a particular thing. H. Semantic connected with the meaning of words and sentences. I. Nuances a very slight difference in meaning. B. Match the first halves in column A with their endings in column B to make complete sentences. A. Americans didn't show right arrow 4. Sympathy to Akio Toyoda's effusive apologies. B. People are accustomed right arrow 3 to an apology in Hong Kong. C. Use an apology right arrow V to repair their damaged relationship. D. American participants seemed right arrow I less interested in second research. E. Researchers found right arrow 2 similar patterns in East Asian countries. C. Answer the following questions. A. Why did Japan become annoyed with the U.S. submarine commander? Answer. Japan became annoyed with the U.S. submarine commander because a U.S. submarine commander didn't immediately apologize after colliding with and sinking a Japanese fishing boat off Hawaii in 2001. B. How do Americans and Japanese perceive an apology? Answer. Americans and Japanese perceive an apology as an expression of eagerness to repair a damaged relationship, with no culpability necessarily implied. C. What, according to the survey, is the average result of an apology in Japanese and American students? Answer. According to the survey, Japanese students recalled issuing an average of 11.05 apologies in the previous week, whereas U.S. students recalled just 4.51. D. What was displayed in a video show? Answer. An applicant for an accounting job apologized for having deliberately filled an incorrect tax return for a prior client, was displayed in a video show. E. Who were the respondents of the second study? Answer. Undergraduates from US and Japan were the respondents of the second study. F. How can the executives apply an apology? Answer. The executives can apply an apology as a tool for facilitating negotiations, resolving conflicts, and repairing trust. D. Have you ever apologized? Why and how? Grammar. A. Read the text and underline the verb forms in present continuous tense. Hello, everybody. Look at this nice picture. Here is one of the moments I prefer when we are all together on a nice Sunday afternoon. But let me introduce myself. I'm Bob. I am standing in front of my father, who is reading the newspaper. Mum is listening to her favorite songs on the radio. My two sisters, Rose and Sally, are playing with their dolls. My grandfather is having a nap and Granny is drinking a cup of tea. The cat is running after the birds as usual, and only my cousins are doing real activities. Ken is watering Mum's flowers, and Mike is cleaning the windows. Can you imagine that Sunday afternoon? B. Use the correct form of the verbs in brackets to complete the sentences. A.
Be quiet.
The baby is sleeping.
Sleep.
B. It rains, rain, cats and dogs here in the monsoon season. C. John is busy. He is working, work, at the moment. D. Please keep quiet, I am listening, listen, to the radio. You know I listen, to the news in the mornings. E. What time does the first bus leave for Kathmandu? F. I usually do not wear a scarf, but today I am wearing wear. 1. Because it's unusually cold. G. She is travel to Dongadi next weekend. H. Pong is in the classroom at the moment. He is study history. I. These days most people write emails instead of writing letters. J. What sort of clothes do teenagers wear nowadays? K. What are you doing tonight? Would you like to come and watch the game?
L. You look worried.
What are you think of? M.
She usually drives a taxi.
But today, she is drive a lorry. N. These kids are not do what I've asked them to do. Writing I. B. The pie charts below show the information about household expenditure in Nepal in 2004 and 2011. Write an interpretation of the charts, making comparisons where necessary. The pie charts show differences in Nepalese household spending in 4 categories in 2004 and 2011. According to the data, food had the largest percentage in the chart in 2004 and 2011, which accounted for 59% and 61.5% respectively. There was a rise with a minor increase of 1.5%. The second most spent sector of the expenditure in 2004 was non-food items with 28.7%, but surprisingly it reduced to 22.2% of the whole expense in 2011. In both 2004 and 2011, education and housing represented the lowest and second lowest spending categories, respectively. There was a slight increase by 1.5% and 2.5% in the expenditures on housing and education, and made up 11% and 9.5% respectively. Overall, food and non-food items remained the largest categories in both years, with housing and education remaining the smallest. The change to the household budget share of non-food was particularly noticeable. Thanks for joining me on this learning journey. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep exploring, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. Remember, learning is a lifelong adventure, so keep seeking knowledge and embracing curiosity. Until next time, stay curious and keep growing.